Close your eyes for a second and picture this. A sunlit street in the 1960s, chrome-lined cars cruising by, kids chasing each other without a care, and the faint crackle of a radio playing a Motown hit. Life felt simpler, didn't it? But here's the thing. You won't believe some of the things that were totally normal back then that are illegal or unthinkable today. From smoky diners to carefree road trips, let's step back into the 60s and uncover 10 things that defined an era now left behind. Smoking anywhere and everywhere. Picture yourself in a bustling 60s diner, the air thick with the scent of coffee and cigarette smoke curling from every table. Back then, you could light up anywhere. Restaurants, offices, even airplanes. Flight attendants handed out free packs of cigarettes, and ashtrays were as common as salt shakers. Nobody blinked. Tobacco ads painted smoking as glamorous, healthy even, with no hint of the dangers we know now. Today, strict laws keep public spaces smoke-free, and those hazy days feel like a distant memory. Can you imagine boarding a plane today with a cigarette in hand? Doctors telling you to smoke. Speaking of cigarettes, flip on a 60s TV and you'd see something wild. Doctors in white coats, stethoscopes around their necks, smiling as they pitched their favorite cigarette brands. More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette, one ad boasted. It wasn't just allowed, it was celebrated. Regulations were loose, and the link between smoking and cancer wasn't widely understood. When science caught up, those ads vanished, banned from the airwaves. Imagine a doctor today telling you to light up for your health. Unthinkable, right? Segregation in everyday life. The 60s were a time of change, but also a time of division. In many places, signs reading "whites only" still hung over water fountains, restrooms, and schools. Segregation wasn't just a custom in some areas, it was the law. People lived with these barriers daily, from buses to lunch counters. The Civil Rights Movement fought to tear them down, and laws like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 marked a turning point. We've come far, but looking back reminds us how hard-won that progress was. No seatbelts? No problem. Picture a family piling into their wood-paneled station wagon, kids bouncing in the back seat, maybe even sprawled across the rear window ledge. Seatbelts? Optional. In the 60s, most cars had them, but no law required their use. Families hit the highway with kids unrestrained, windows down, and not a worry in the world. It wasn't until crash data piled up that mandatory seatbelt laws rolled out. Today, buckling up is second nature. Those carefree rides, they're a memory we look back on with a mix of fondness and disbelief. Driving after a few drinks. Friday night in the 60s, you're at a dimly lit bar, sipping a martini, the jukebox humming. After a couple of drinks, you'd hop in your car and drive home. No big deal. Laws against drunk driving existed, but enforcement was lax, and the culture shrugged it off. Cocktail before dinner was practically a motto. Then came groups like MADD and stricter laws, with breathalyzers and checkpoints. The roads are safer now, but back then, that drive home felt like just another part of the night. Asbestos and lead paint everywhere. Walk into a 60s home or office, and you might have been surrounded by hidden dangers. Asbestos-insulated buildings, lead paint-coated walls, and workers on construction sites rarely wore protective gear. Nobody knew the full risks, not yet. Science hadn't caught up, and regulations were thin. When the truth about these materials came out, agencies like the EPA and OSHA stepped in, banning or restricting them. Looking back, it's chilling to think how normal it was to live with those silent threats. Ads that would shock us today. Flip through a 60s magazine and you'd see ads that make your jaw drop today. Commercials often leaned on stereotypes, portraying women as happy homemakers, or worse, openly mocking minorities. It was the norm, woven into the culture without a second thought. Society shifted, and laws now curb discriminatory messaging. Those old ads are a time capsule, reminders of how far we've come and how much we've learned about respect and equality. Pollution without limits. In the 60s, factory smokestacks painted the sky with plumes of gray, and rivers sometimes shimmered with oil slicks. Dumping waste? No one batted an eye. Environmental laws were weak, and the Clean Air and Water Acts were still years away. The environmental movement of the 70s changed everything, pushing for cleaner air and stricter rules. Today, we cringe at those smoky skylines, but back then they were just part of the view. Jobs that shut people out. Walk into a 60s office, and the help wanted signs often came with unwritten rules. Women, minorities, and others faced barriers to jobs we now take for granted. Want to be a manager? A pilot? Good luck if you didn't fit the mold. Labor laws were patchy, and discrimination was often blatant. The Civil Rights Act and later protections opened doors, but those early days remind us how unequal opportunity once was. Pills for everything. In the 60s, a trip to the doctor might end with a prescription for tranquilizers or amphetamines handed out like candy. Ads for these drugs filled magazines, promising calm or energy with a single pill. Regulation was loose, and the risks of abuse weren't fully understood. When the DEA tightened controls, those carefree prescriptions faded. It's hard to imagine now, but back then, a pill for every mood was just another day at the doctor's. One last memory. Picture a summer evening in the 60s. Kids are everywhere, playing stickball in the street, riding bikes without helmets, no adults hovering. Neighborhoods were their playground, and supervision was light. Traffic was slower, and parents worried less. Today, busy roads and safety concerns keep kids closer to home. It's a trade-off. Safer, maybe, but that wild, free feeling of the 60s, that's a memory worth cherishing. The 60s were a world of chrome, smoke, and freedom. Some of it beautiful, some of it flawed. From smoky diners to kids playing in the streets, we're glad some things are gone, but others, they tug at our hearts with mixed feelings. What about you? What's one thing your parents or grandparents did in the 60s that seems wild now? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, give us a like, hit subscribe, and let us know if you want more. Maybe next time we'll dive into the 70s. What do you think? Vote in the comments, and let's keep the nostalgia alive.